It's time for the Frangie Show on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right. The new drug today is now we got a party, Carline. We didn't have a party yesterday. You know why? I didn't have a draft. You know what we got today?
I mean,
got a party today.
it's rocking.
We are live at Mr. Chubbies in Ponte Vedra. Let me tell you how hard it is to find us. Walk in the door and look to the left. That's us. The minute you can almost see us from the front door. We have taken over the whole left part of the restaurant. We want you to come by and see us. Right over there is the door. Come by and say hello. And the Jaguar party, the draft party, is going to be going on in here, out in the parking lot.
It's impressive.
You know, I'm keeping you away from the whiskey. I'm going to say right now.
There's no chance that's going to succeed.
It's going to be the Jags do a great job with their party. So let me set the scene for you today on this Friday. We are live at Mr. Chubbies at Ponte Vedra. We love coming out here. We're going to be here in some capacity now till about 10 o'clock tonight. The Frangie Show, Hayes and I will have that for you now until 6 o'clock. Rick Ballou will be back in studio for an hour. And then Jeff Loggeman meets me out here at 7 o'clock. And we'll have the Jaguar Draft Show. J.P. Shadrick will stop by. John Ogier will stop by. Brian Sexton will stop by. We're going to try and track down our friend Bucky Brooks, although he's got all kind of business to do. But this is really draft day for us since there was no activity for the Jags yesterday, and there will be a lot. But we do invite you to come out here on this Friday. We thank you for joining us. We certainly thank our friends from Big Chief Tire Company, the best tire company around. They do a fantastic job. They're always our Friday sponsor with 6 great locations here on the First Coast. That's Orange Park and Mandarin most recently, 2 on the west side, the north side, and the south side. If you can hear me now, you're near a Big Chief Tire Company. But once again, we're live at Mr. Chubbies in Ponte Vedra. Great setup here. Again, walk in the door, look to the left. If you know this place, by the way, we're kind of where they set the bands up. The band, if you've ever seen live music in here, right to the left is where they set up the bands, and we're over here. So come on by and see us, and it's a great area of Mr. Chubbies, so we'd love to have you come by and say hello. All right, a lot to do today on the program. Draft, and more draft is kind of what we're talking about today on the show, and I'm looking forward to getting into that. We'll get to the Jags in a minute. We'll get to what they might do. We will get to what they didn't do first and foremost, but we'll get to what they might do later on. But I also want you to assess, and I will as well, surprises in the first round. Obviously, we all know Ty Simpson's the big surprise. We'll certainly talk about that. But let's start with the Jags. You tweeted today, and I'm in full agreement with you. The best move they made is the one they didn't make by not going up into the first round.
Yeah, without a doubt, because, you look at where the board sits going into today, and I think James Gladstone and company have to be very thrilled with how yesterday played out. I mean, 9 offensive linemen were selected, 5 receivers, 2 quarterbacks. So that gives you 16 of the 32 picks, half the first round, at positions that I don't think are huge needs for the Jaguars. Could they take a receiver? Could they take a quarterback? Could they take an offensive lineman? Yeah, but that feels more like Saturday picks, like, throwing a flyer out there on those positions, not immediate things that they're going to target tonight. So I thought it worked out really well to see that there were only 10 defensive tackles, edge, tight end, linebacker players selected. So I think the board looks very good for the Jaguars. And I do think you could see them move up from 56 because, boy, that first half of the second round looks a lot more enticing than the back half. But I do think they will be rewarded for their patience. And you mentioned the fan excitement. This is such a unique draft year for the Jaguars, but the cool thing now is now that you've made it through the first night, you don't often on your first night of the draft as a fan have 4 selections. You do tonight. So again, will they stay at 4? Do they move up? That'll certainly be a big talking point between now and the draft commencing later this evening. But I think they're in excellent shape to address, defensive tackle, edge, tight end, off-ball linebacker, the things that we talked the most about in the process, I didn't think really got dinged all that hard last night.
I thought the same thing. There's more names of the position. There's more names available at the positions the Jags might be interested than I thought there would be. I thought the same thing you did, so maybe you get some of those guys that we talked about in volume. Set the scene for you today. No Pete Prisco today. He is doing all his work for his real job with CBS Sports HQ. I watched him all day today and last night. They did a terrific job, so Pete will not be with us today. But we'll be back next week in full force. So it's good to have Peter along with us as always. And he'll be here every other week other than today. So just Hayes and I have it for you today. Now, Jeff Logman joins me later on tonight. You're heading down to the stadium, though, so because I mean, this is round one for the Jaguars, isn't it? I mean, that's how it feels. It feels like the first night of the draft.
Yeah, by 11:30 tonight, we could have 4 new Jaguars. I think we're at a minimum probably going to have 3, and so it's exciting. I mean, this is an exciting night. This is really an opportunity today for James Gladstone and staff to really take a big step forward with this roster. They've got a chance to add 4 pretty good prospects to a roster that's already in very good shape and very balanced. So tonight is big. I mean, this is one where, you could be looking back on this night 3-4 years down the road, particularly if they've been able to take that 13-win rookie campaign with Liam and James and Baselli. And if that's the start, if that's the foundation of a really push to being a consistent title contender, tonight could be a very big night for that, because you're bringing in, at least as of now, 4 players that are all, good prospects that are going to be very cheap for the next 4 years. And that's the biggest thing to this whole thing. We're going to talk about, mistakes that teams made last night and things like that. But you always have to consider the salary involved. And for the Jaguars, with the big contracts that they already have that we believe are still coming with Brenton Strange, Parker Washington, Anton Harrison coming in the next year or so, you need as many contributors on those inexpensive rookie deals as you can get. So for the Jaguars to be able to add potentially 4 guys tonight, I think that really gives them an opportunity to take a big step forward and create some separation on the Texans, Colts, and Titans.
Yeah, and I want to get back to something you said a minute ago, too. There are a number of players available to choose from that I'm not so sure I thought they would all be lumped in there together. And again, most of them are guys we didn't necessarily see. We started studying when draft talk came around. I'm not going to pretend that I've watched defensive linemen from Ohio State, although, by the way, I did not realize that the NFL did pass that rule yesterday at the last minute that every second pick has to be from Ohio State. I had no idea.
That's amazing.
God almighty. I mean, how did they not win? And that's what everyone's asking, right? I mean,
they didn't even play for it.
I was astounded. Hayes, at how many? I was astounded at how many players are from Ohio State. So we'll certainly talk about that today on the draft. I like what the Jags did. I'm excited about the possibilities for the Jags. And I do want to remind you, today's the day of a party, man. Again, Mr. Chubbies in Ponte Vedra, that is the place to be during our show. And then certainly the Jags. And I mean, that parking lot's set up. See that big screen out there? I mean, the big screen's out there. This is where the Jags official draft party will be. I love it. Here's the good thing. If there's a good thing about not having to pick last night and pick – party's on a Friday, bro. I mean, Friday night's pretty good party night.
That's right.
Okay? Cold beer on a Friday night. I heard that in a song one time, if you heard that or not. So we invite you to come on by and say hello and hang out with us at Mr. Chubbies here in Ponte Vedra. A fun night on a Friday night, so we're certainly looking forward to that. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to look back at an interesting first round. For me, honest to goodness, it got interesting for whatever reason. I thought Jeremiah Love was going to wind up with the Titans. There was talk then starting the last 2 or 3 days that Arizona was going to take him, but it still surprised me a little bit. And then it got very surprising right after that. So at least for me it did. So we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what the Jags might do tonight. But let's look back at the first round. What surprised us, what didn't, who won, who lost, all that coming up. Frangie, Hayes Carline with you, a Big Chief Tire Friday, live from Mr. Chubbies in Ponte Vedra on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Saluting the spirit of Jacksonville's workforce. Jacksonville's live and local sports radio. 1010XL.
I guess that's what I am.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Buick GMC is proud to be Jacksonville's #1 Buick GMC dealer. How do they earn that? By treating you right. I was just in there. I promise you they treated me right. They'll always treat you right. Courtesy, respect, and fairness. That sounds like a cliche, but it really is part of Nimnick's treating you right guarantee, and I'm an example of it. I love going over there, and I really do trust them. So if you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle or a new vehicle, head to Nimnick today. Better selection, better prices. Who delivers both? Nobody but Nimnick. Head there today. GMC, we are professional grade.
You've always known Beard's Diamonds for, well, our diamonds. But have you heard about our watches? Beards is proud to introduce a new and exciting selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. If you've tried to find a Rolex these days, you know how hard it is. But Beards has scoured the country to put together an incredible selection of pristine Rolexes, thoroughly inspected and fully authenticated. These are like new Rolexes, all the most popular models, GMT Masters, Submariners, Sky Dwellers, and more. Come in today and check out our new collection of amazing timepieces. And if you have a Rolex to sell or trade, Beards buyers are here with top dollar offers. Beards Diamonds, always looking for new ways to give our customers the finest quality and the guaranteed best value price. Locally owned and operated for more than 4 decades, Beards is your trusted source for fine diamonds, exquisite designer jewelry, stunning engagement rings, and now the finest luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Come find the Rolex of your dreams now. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
Picken here. See clearly with the Eye Associates and trusted optometrists Zachary Boskool and Alice LaFlamme. From comprehensive eye exams, dry eye care, glaucoma management, diabetic eye care, and more, Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme are dedicated to protecting your vision. Immediate availability at all 5 Jacksonville locations. Schedule today with Dr. Boskool and Dr. LaFlamme by calling the Eye Associates, formerly Bowden Eye and Associates, Schneider Eye and Wellness Center, and Janet Betchkel, MD at 296-0098.
Sent in, and Sporting Jacks breaks through first.
For the latest on Jacksonville's pro soccer team, join the Sporting Jacks Coaches Show, presented by Honda of the Avenues, every Tuesday night at 6 on 1010 AM and 1010XL.com.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, johnautomotivejacks.com.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
Have you tried a Form energy drink yet? You need to, and it's available at Gate. 4 great tastes, screaming free to Blue Blitz, Orange Fury, and Grape Smash. Form energy, natural flavors, natural caffeine, and electrolytes for hydration are a perfect blend for energy and mental focus. Find it at Gate.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We sure thank our friends from Big Chief Tire. The north side, 2 on the west side, the south side. They now are open in Orange Park. They're now open in Mandarin. If you can hear me today, you're near a Big Chief Tire, man. They do a fantastic job. Brakes, alignments, oil changes, and, of course, those terrific tires. Any tire you need, doesn't matter what you drive, they'll find the perfect tire for you. I can guarantee you that. Proud to be a spokesman for Big Chief Tire. They keep Jack rolling for sure. On this special Jaguar Day, Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline with you, JJ LaSelva, back in World Headquarters. Biggest surprises to you last night? We'll go through who won, lost, good, bad. What jumped off the page?
I think, you see why the bad teams are the bad teams. Let's start with Arizona. How can you possibly justify taking a running back at 3 when you've got absolutely nothing in the trenches? You now make Jeremiah Love the highest paid running back in history. And look, he's a good player, obviously. He'll probably be a good NFL player, but you're in a division with the 49ers, Rams, and Seahawks, and if you can't block them, which Arizona cannot, Jeremiah, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter. So I thought Arizona really made a mistake at 3, taking Jeremiah Love. The Titans, who get handed the ultimate gift of being able to choose between Arvell Reese and Sonny Styles, go offense and take Carnell Tate, who, again, is a good player. I don't think he's unquestionably the number 1 receiver in this draft by any stretch of the imagination. So you give up the chance to get, I think, the best player in the draft in Arvell Reese, but to take a receiver that, some don't even believe is the best one in this class, I think it just, the draft to me got off to a really surprising start. And then obviously when the Rams took Ty Simpson at 13, an excellent franchise, certainly one that hasn't made many mistakes, and maybe they'll end up being right about this, but I absolutely hate it when probably the Super Bowl favorite, you could argue, is the LA Rams. And for them to take a player that, best case scenario, does not get on the field for them this year, when they could have had Reuben Bain or, some of the guys they could have had, the Oregon tight end. Obviously some pretty big time talent still on the board there at 13 that could have helped LA potentially, win the Super Bowl or live up to those expectations. I thought it was a really bad miscalculation on Les Snead's part. So those were the ones that really I was surprised Caleb Bakes went 18th. I did think he'd go in the first round, but I was surprised to see him go as high as he did. I think it's a good pick by the Vikings. I think they'll be happy with Caleb Banks, but that was certainly a surprise as well.
All right, for me, in order, Ty Simpson by far the biggest surprise. I read something today, and when we're reading all this coverage of it, that I didn't know, that Les Snead apparently is very close friends with his dad, with Simpson's dad, who I didn't even know was a coach at one of the colleges, head football coach at one of the small colleges, and talked to him at length about talking him into kind of going into the draft. So I wonder if that, and again, to your point, the Rams are good at what they do, so it's not like they're going to let personal preference affect them. But that was by a wide margin the biggest surprise for me. And part of it is, if Ty Simpson had been the Michigan quarterback or the Minnesota quarterback, I probably wouldn't have seen him so much. The Alabama quarterback around here, we watch him. Look, they're smarter than I am, but that one surprised me. That one probably surprised me too. Like you, I was surprised by pick 3. I was very surprised that it happened that way. David Bailey, obviously Mendoza was going first. David Bailey didn't surprise anybody. After that, it got very interesting. Jeremiah Love, I thought, would wind up with the Titans. I didn't think they were going to get an edge. I thought they were going to take Jeremiah Love. He was gone. I think one of the reasons the Cardinals took him is because they knew Tennessee was going to. You better take him. You weren't getting another chance to trade back up there. Carnell Tate, one of the receivers. That surprised me a little bit, too. It was an interesting – so to me, Reuben Bain dropping was a surprise to me.
Best pick of the first round, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I thought he would go –
in my opinion.
Yeah, he went 15. I thought he would go be a top 10 guy, so I thought that surprised me a little bit. The Simpson thing surprised me the most. The Love thing surprised me. I also was surprised a little bit of the volume. You kind of warned me about this. You thought there'd be – you think you're the one who said there'd be a run on offensive linemen. I didn't think 9 were going. 9 offensive linemen went in those first 32 picks. 5 wide receivers. Well, that's the vogue now. 5 edge, 2 defensive tackles. So you could say 7 defensive linemen. So 16, half of the picks, Hayes, were linemen. Well, good on those teams, because if you're not good in the trenches, what is it? What nothing else matters, right? So 60, if you count edge as a trench, which I do, 16 of the 32 players that went last night were in the edges. So that surprised me a little bit. 2 quarterbacks went. Only 1 tight end went. So if the Jags want to go to a tight end early in the draft, I think that's one of the points you were making. 2 corners, I think that's a low number for cornerbacks. It's such an important premium position. I don't know if that speaks to what's there or other needs teams had. 2 safeties. So the way it broke down, 9 offensive linemen, 5 wide receivers, 5 edge, 2 defensive tackles, 2 running backs, 2 quarterbacks, 2 cornerbacks, 2 safeties, and 1 tight end. I don't know what I was expecting, but that breakdown surprised me a little bit. Usually, number one, usually there's more than 2 quarterbacks. There's also 1 tight end, and we're kind of in the tight end era in pro football, so that surprised me a little bit. 2 corners. How many drafts have we seen where 4 or 5 corners go?
I mean, that's shocking.
Yeah, it
Both
really
Tennessee kids thought they were going to go first round.
Yeah.
Neither did.
Right. So I think that's what surprised me the most of the draft. As for teams that did well, I thought Dallas helped their defense. I thought if there's one team that I looked at and said, how much better can they get based on what they did? Look, Dallas pretty good offensively. They just can't stop anybody. Well, I really did think, and we'll see though, but I get the hunch. I think Caleb Downs is going to be a really good player. I mean, I haven't seen as much of Malachi Lawrence, but everybody raves about him. So if you asked me to point to one team that I think helped themselves the most, I think the Cowboys are behind that list for me.
I think the Cowboys have to be high on that list. They get arguably the cleanest prospect in the draft in Downs, and I think then I'll stay in the division. I thought what the New York Giants did was exquisite in terms of getting Arvell Reese, who I think is the best overall player in this draft, and then you get the Miami tackle Maioga at 10. That is 2 unbelievable pieces, again, in the trenches on either side of the football for John Harbaugh as he starts to revitalize that historic franchise that's really been an underachiever now for about a quarter century, it feels like. So I think you look at the NFC East, I love really what all 4 clubs did. Washington getting Styles, it's 7. Very good pick, excellent value there. And the Eagles sneaking up ahead of the Steelers to get the receiver that they coveted in Mekhi Lemon. So I agree with you on Dallas, but I think that entire division really had a good night.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it did as well. So, all right, so that stands out the most. What did you think of the Chiefs' move? What did you think of them trading all the way up to get Delane, who I watched the SEC, and maybe I missed the memo there. What did you think of the Chiefs draft?
I thought it was a mistake to move up to get him. I
At
think
least a reach, right?
I think so. I mean, I think he could have been there at 9. It worked out great for the Browns, who ended up going back 3 spots and still getting the offensive lineman that everybody had projected them to take at 6 in Fano. So, I mean, I think Kansas City, look, they still have Patrick Mahomes, and obviously he's one of the best to ever do it. May go down as the best when his career is over. But I think they've made some really shaky personnel decisions over the last 3 years, and I don't think they helped themselves much last night. I mean, the corner that they took is certainly good. I'm not trying to say that he isn't, but I think they probably could have stayed at 9 and gotten him. Instead, you give away a couple of picks. And, again, we've talked about it. They don't have much of a young nucleus. The Chiefs are just, I mean, aging, and they've been able to hold on to – Chris Jones and Kelsey still playing at, adequate to good levels. But, I mean, those guys are getting ready to be done in this league, and they really haven't done a good job, I don't think, of restocking the shelves. And, so I think it was a move that, to me, reeked of some desperation by Kansas City. I don't think they needed to move to 6. I think he would have been there at 9. But even if he's gone, I mean, you certainly could have pivoted. And as you look at it today, as you said, the corner board is still ripe. I mean, you're talking about just a couple of corners that were selected yesterday. So had the Chiefs elected to be a little bit more patient with it, I think it would have served them well.
All right. I agree with you that Tampa Bay got a steal with Reuben Bain when they got him. I was not surprised. Nothing happened with Caleb Banks would have surprised me. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have predicted 18, but I'm not surprised that Caleb Banks wound up going 18. That didn't shock me. Let's put it that way. Other storylines, I thought the Eagles-Steelers storyline was kind of funny. The word was out that the Steelers wanted Mekhi Lemon. They had talked to everybody about it. They had talked to him about it. The Eagles knew that. The Steelers were coming up at 21. The Eagles trade to 20 to get Lemon. And then the Steelers, kind of inexplicably, instead of which clearly their needs, I would think, are wide receiver, and wide receiver, go to a young offensive lineman to add to an already young offensive line. I thought that was bizarre a little bit.
I mean, certainly the whole sequence was very bizarre. And again, it's, if you're the Steelers, that you got to wait until it's your turn. We get taught that in, pre-K, wait your turn. And if you don't wait your turn, bad things can happen. And I think it happened to the Steelers last night. They weren't on the clock. You can't just assume that Dallas is going to stay put and take a defender. So, Pittsburgh didn't play the game well. Omar Khan made a mistake, and it ended up being an embarrassing situation for an organization that doesn't often find themselves in embarrassing situations. They're usually a very well-run franchise. And so, I think it's it also, to your point, is interesting that you then pivot to a tackle. Now, again, I think the pick was fine. And, I think anytime you invest in your offensive line, it's hard to bash the move. But there are some other receivers out there. Now, again, maybe there were character issues with some of these guys. Yeah. Maybe they just really liked Lemon's skill set. But yeah, it was certainly awkward. I think ultimately Pittsburgh will be fine with how it played out. But it's just a lesson. Until the league says you're on the clock, probably best to stay off the cell phone.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. All right. By the way, I remain amazed. It's kind of cool, by the way. It's a good amazed. I said it with Nashville. I said it with Green Bay. And last night I said it with Detroit. Was it Detroit? I think it was Detroit. Last night, the amount of people at that draft.
Unbelievable.
It's because it's one night. I mean, I guess there's drink specials but these cities. Listen, I'm still amazed that in college football game day, all the students come out, but they're students. I was, and Nashville's the one that probably blew me away the most. But I'm amazed at how many people go to the draft. I mean, are they locals? Do they come? You see everybody wearing all the different jerseys. Do people travel in?
I know the league will fly fans in. Now, I don't think they're flying in 300,000 fans.
Yeah.
So some of it is certainly organic. But I think that the league does go to great efforts on their own dime to make sure that every fan base is represented. And I think that they're, that they basically are willing to accommodate those fans and cover their travels to get them out there. So I think there's some of that. But again, they're not doing it with 250,000 people. So it is amazing the power of this event. It doesn't seem that long ago that it was just annually in Radio City Music Hall, which now would be laughable to suggest ever taking it back.
Well, right. And hey, let me say this, okay? People flock to Nashville. Well, Nashville's freaking great. Broadway's great. People flock to Vegas, okay? Listen, my parents grew up 50 miles from Pittsburgh. I go to Pittsburgh every year to watch baseball. I love going there. It's a wonderful little downtown. I love Permane Brothers. I have an icy lighter too. But 400,000 people coming to Pittsburgh, it's and I'm not trying to I love when I go up there to watch baseball. But I mean, if it was Miami, if it was San Diego, I just couldn't believe it.
What
are you doing?
It's incredible. It's the power of football in this country.
And the NFL makes their events big events. So it's amazing stuff. All right, I want to get to the Jaguars, what they might do tonight. But let me segue to the Jaguars with pick 32. All right, pick 32. If we'd have done a mock draft, I would have had Jadarian Price there. I would have gotten one right. I would have gotten Mendoza and Price right. So I'd have been 2 and 30.
Yeah, I think pretty much all the analysts really didn't do great. But yeah. So it was an odd draft. Like even at 2, there was a little bit of a pivot there. I mean, a lot of people thought the Jets would go Reese there at 2, as opposed to Bailey. So anyway, it got everybody's off pretty quick. I'm glad I didn't do one either because I wouldn't have been very good.
But back to 32, Jadarian Price went 32nd. There was palpable buzz, rumors that never came true, that the Jags might go up there and get him, that the Jags might go to 32. I never bought that because I can't imagine trading the draft equity you had to go get a guy who might not be your starter. You might already have your starting running back. I think they will draft a running back at some point. But what did you make of that? Because we all heard it. It was everywhere. That the Jags might go up there. Michael Silver said they might go up. Mike Florio said they might go up, and he was talking about trading Brian Thomas Jr. I never bought it, but I got to be honest, because I heard it so much, I kept my eye on it. Right? I mean, you probably did too.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah, being at the stadium last night, watching the draft with the beat. I would say it was probably 15 of us, there watching it. And there certainly was an energy as we got to like 23, 24 of what is going to happen. And so, I think it certainly was believable enough that it could happen, particularly when you started to see all the trades being made in the final several picks of the first round last night. But I think the Jaguars absolutely did the right thing. I think James Gladstone did the right thing to trade in to the first round with what that would have. It would have wiped out the rest of this draft, or it would have been giving away your 27 first rounder. That's just too big of a price to pay to fill a running back need that, frankly, I don't think is that big of a need anyway. I mean, if they want to add to the room at some point, tomorrow, I think that makes sense. I wouldn't even really take one tonight based on what it appears the board is going to look like. As you get into Saturday, I think there'll be a good running back there. And again, I just think there's certain things they can't wait on, in like defensive tackle, like edge, like, tight end, like linebacker. So, I think it would have been a colossal mistake if the Jaguars had traded to 32 regardless. I think it would have been just vomitous to trade up to 32 to take a running back.
So here's what I'll tell you. Vomitous is a spectacular word, but I mean, as words go, that's like a highly ranked word.
I saved that one for certain occasions.
But to your point, look, I get this. The Jaguars don't have a running back on their roster who has been an NFL starter. I got that. But this wouldn't change that. I think they're going to draft a running back. But that doesn't change the fact that they still don't have a running back on their roster that's been an NFL starter. Look, it's a young room. I like Tootin. We all like what Allen gave them. And I can tell you they like Chris Rodriguez. They had targeted him. They knew him from Kentucky. He's a downhill runner. But they still don't have a guy that's been an NFL starter. So I understand why there's some question there. But that's not something you change by bringing in a rookie. So anyway, I had kind of the same thought you did. Having said all that, we're going to take a break. When we come back, what might the Jaguars do tonight? I'm going to throw some names at you. I want you to go through some names. Will they make all 4 picks tonight? I agree with you. They'll make a minimum of 3. They could move around a little bit, but they're going to be active tonight. So we'll talk about the Jags and what they might do. We're glad you're with us on this Friday installment of the program. It's brought to you by Big Chief Tire Company with 6 fantastic locations in Jacksonville. They certainly keep Jags rolling, and I'm proud to be a spokesman for them. And I'll remind you, we're live at Mr. Chubbies here in Ponte Vedra. The Jags draft party is, they're getting it all set up out there. They got all the dignitaries in here getting this thing all set up. They're going to be partying. Already fans are coming in here. I see them with their gear on. You've seen gear, haven't you?
Lots of teal.
Lots of teal in here today. So come hang out with all these Jaguar folk. It's going to be an awful lot of fun out here. Hope you'll come see us. Come see our Jaguar again. Hayes and I will do this show for a while. We'll take a little time off in between. Then Jeff Lagerman and I will have the Jaguar Network show. J.P. Shadrick will join us. John Ozier will join us. Brian Sexton will join us. Hopefully, Bucky Brooks. He's got NFL Network duty, but hopefully they'll all join us by phone. But we invite you to come by and say hello as well. A lot of fun. Jaguar draft party coming up later. Our show right now. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. The MVP buyback program returns this month with 2025 Topps Chrome Football. And the card to bring in for store credit is last season's NFL MVP, Matthew Stafford. MVP buyback program at Showtime. Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here. I've been telling you about Stanley Pools for years. But you know my favorite thing about this family-owned company? They take such good care of my pool. All I have to do is relax and enjoy it. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and their weekly maintenance makes owning a pool effortless. You can trust Stanley Pools to build your pool or upgrade it. They've done both for me. Call 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership costs. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
I'm Frank Frangie, and I can tell you as Walk-Off Charities has grown, we now manage a large athletic facility with numerous fields, including the Bregan Baseball Complex. To get around, we needed a good, reliable golf cart. I went straight to Dynamic Drives and Design in Jack's Peak. I met with Travis, told him exactly what our needs were. Would you believe before you knew it, the perfect cart was delivered to us at an incredible price? If you need a golf cart, Travis and his team are the go-to. Learn more about them at dynamicdrivesdesign.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton is gearing up for brand new greens and a lot more, and now's your chance to save on membership before the fee increase. Take advantage of a $1,000 savings if you join before the work starts in late April and before the initiation fee goes up. It's a great deal, plus $500 additionally in Pro Shop credit. Don't miss out. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Become a member now and save big. The course is in great shape, so head on out to the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee.
Here's a health and wellness tip from orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Gary Katay with Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville. I specialize in the treatment of the hand, elbow, and shoulder. Many people suffer from tendinitis in the hand and upper extremity, often caused by repetitive motion. Prevention starts with good posture, frequent breaks, and simple stretching. Don't ignore early signs of pain. Act before it worsens. Visit us in person or online at osjax.com.
Stay healthy with orthopedic specialists of Jacksonville.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
This is my life, Caroline. The draft is my life. I don't know what your life is.
I heard a little Billy Joel coming in.
Did you?
Yeah. I heard pressure.
How to put you, see there.
But this
and
is a great one,
and
too.
you're a guy that responds under pressure.
I try.
So there's that.
You got to try and keep your composure. This world is about poise.
I'm in a good. Yes, it is. That and it is not. You know what the world is not? Vomitous.
That's right.
That's
It's a great world.
It's a
It's
great
far
world.
from vomitous.
I'm in a good mood. You in a
Me
good
too.
mood? You in a good mood?
Absolutely.
I'm
We
in a
got
good
new
mood.
Jaguars.
Friday, we got a Jaguar new players here. We got a Jaguar. I just went outside. Jaguar draft party is going to get cranking up here. I'm in a good mood. I mean, I'm always in a good mood. I'm like in an extra good mood tonight. Give me some ideas what you think the Jags might do tonight. We're in agreement they're going to have a handful of picks. Obviously, they've got 4 as of right now. They could move around and change that number, but they're going to draft a handful of players tonight. What are your expectations?
Well, I think you start with what can they do in terms of moving up. Pick 100 gets you up about 10 spots to 46. So that's what I would recommend. Then you're at 46, 81, and 88. I think at 46 you can stay in the defensive tackle running. Maybe a C.J. Allen, the Georgia linebacker, is the apple of their eye. At that point, that'd be a spot ahead of the Colts. A lot of the experts today are expecting the Colts to draft C.J. Allen at 47. So it would behoove the Jaguars, if that's their guy, to replace Devin Lloyd. Jump up, give up pick number 100, get ahead of the Colts, take C.J. Allen. So I think that's the move that makes the most sense. If they want to just get rid of tomorrow's 4th-round pick, that gets you up about 5 spots to about 51. I don't know that that'll be as aggressive as they need to be. And then if they want to get all the way to the first pick tonight at 33, it'd be picks 88 and 100. So that would still leave you with 33 and 81. My guess is they move up. I think it's going to be the first option. I think they probably try and get up about 10 spots, give away the final 3rd-round pick tonight. That still leaves you with a trio of obviously very attractive prospects. But I think as you look at it, you'd love for one of these defensive tackles to fall that does have a little bit of twitch. Obviously, Caleb Banks off the board. He was probably the best in terms of that. But there are some other guys there. The Texas A&M kid would make some sense for them. I don't think the Ohio State guy that a lot of people thought would go last night ends up, he'll probably be in the first couple tonight. So they'd probably have to give up a pretty good bit to go up and get McDonald. But, I think ultimately it ends up being an edge just because I think the defensive tackle board, is going to be hit pretty hard. I don't know that C.J. Allen is going to be there. I really like this guy, Gabe Akkus, out of Illinois. He's 6'4", 260, 27 career sacks, 35.5 tackles for a loss. I think he immediately becomes your top edge reserve, obviously behind Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. So to me, I think it's going to be an edge at 56. If they want a tackle, I think they're going to have to go up. I think if they want C.J. Allen, they're going to have to go up.
All right, I'm going to give you 6 names, okay, of guys that are still on the board, and I will preface it. My disclaimer here is, it's guys I've watched play. So if there's a really good player at UCLA or Washington, I probably didn't see him play, so he's not going to be on my list. I don't study the draft probably as closely as others do. So, but these are guys that I've watched play. 6 guys on the board, and you made a good point. Some will be available at 56. Some there's no way they will. But 6 guys that fit their position. Caden McDonald's the obvious guy. He's a really good defensive tackle that is still there. You'd have to go to probably 33, 34 to get him. But I think he would fit what they want. So he's one. He's the highest state. The other 5 guys are SEC guys. And again, I'm being honest about this. I'm giving you guys I've watched play, okay? But the defensive tackle I love is Kristen Miller from Georgia. He's not going to be there at 56, but he's going to be there possibly in the 40s. Okay, so the 2 defensive tackles that I really like, and what I'm doing is I'm doing 2 tackles, 2 edges, 2 linebackers. That's just what Caden McDonald, the obvious guy from Ohio State. Kristen Miller from Georgia, I really like. Those are the 2 tackles I like. I'm going to give you 2 edges, again, 2 SEC guys. I like Cassius Howell from A&M. Maybe it's because he was always good against Florida. But I think Cassius Howell's an athlete. I think he's a very athletic defensive end or edge. And Zion Young from Missouri, I think, is a pretty good player. Again, these are guys that flashed when I watched. So those are the 2 edges. The 2 linebackers, one's Anthony Hill from Texas. I watched him. And probably my favorite player in the draft is C.J. Allen. I've been saying that for a while now. So 2 linebackers, Anthony Hill and C.J. Allen. 2 defensive tackles, Caden McDonald from Ohio State, Kristen Miller from Georgia, and 2 edges, Zion Young from Missouri and Cassius Howell from A&M. If they got one of those 6 players, at least to my eyes, I feel pretty good about it. Now, look, it's silly to do that because there's a guy at Brigham Young or Arizona or wherever that I just didn't watch play. Michigan State that I didn't see play a lot, and I always preface it with that. But of the guys I did, those are my 6. Like any of them?
Yeah, I think that's a good group. What about Jacob Rodriguez? Does he do anything for you if he's starting to slip?
Yeah, maybe. I could see that, but there's a lot. Number one, you brought up the receiver from Georgia State. There's other guys. There's a bunch of guys there, but I hope it's one of these 3 positions. But here's what I'll tell you: they need a tackle, they need an edge. I hope it's C.J. Allen because maybe. And listen, we don't watch 3 hours of every game. Gosh, Hayes, every time I turned on Georgia, number 3 was running down somebody. Do you remember that? I don't care if it was a wide receiver. I don't care if it was a tight end. I don't care if it was just blowing up a running back. Every time I know this, when the season started, I didn't know who he was. I know one of the first numbers I looked up, when I pulled up rosters, was number 3 from Georgia. He can't possibly be there at 56, can he?
I wouldn't think. But again, you never know. But I would think if C.J. Allen is their primary target tonight, then
you gotta go up and get it.
I would think you're going to have to give up pick 100 and get into the mid 40s. Which again, that's not a heavy lift. But I do think you're going to need to get ahead of the Colts because the buzz coming out of Indianapolis is C.J. Allen's their guy.
Yeah, I see that as well. We'll take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
From the green flag to the glory of victory lane.
Here they come, checker flag.
Sunday at Talladega Super Speedway. Powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010 XL.
Hey, Hicken here. Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. This month, take 20% off your whole home air duct cleaning and start breathing fresh air again. Visit ZeroResJacksonville.com.
Zero Res.
You know what homeowners in Northeast Florida don't want to deal with? 3 phone calls in the same week. One because the drain won't drain, one because the septic system is acting up, and one because the AC decided summer vacation started early. That's why homeowners keep one number saved in their phone: Duck-Duck-Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Clogged pipes, septic problem, AC blowing warm air. One call brings the right team to your door. Plumbing, septic, air conditioning, all handled by one trusted crew. Call 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
He's our Big Mac.
Woo! It's Smash Mouth football, baby!
Tom McManus brings his big opinions to Jaguars Today.
Every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on 1010 XL.
Protected by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Leon Serza here, your lemon pepper guy. You know Wingstop always delivers. And I'm not talking about their cook-to-order, hand-sauced and tossed chicken sandwich in your choice of 12 mouth-watering flavors. I'm not talking about the house-made ranch. So good, nobody will blame you if you double dip. I'm talking about Wingstop that delivers straight to your door. And did you know they're open until 1 a.m.? So visit wingstop.com or use the app to get flavors delivered right to your door late night only at Wingstop.
Can't stop. Wingstop.
Springtime is the perfect time to get your home organized. Hey, this is Lauren Brooks, and I love our closets from Closets by Design. They create custom storage systems designed around how you actually live. From closets and garages to entertainment centers, laundry rooms, and storage for any space and budget. Make an appointment to tour their showroom on Phillips Highway and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off, free installation, and 18-month special financing. Schedule your free consultation at 904-878-9393 or find them online, closetsbydesign.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
Attention men and women. If you'd like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
It's time to take your season to the next level when the Jaguars return to the bank in 2026. Become a season ticket member and unlock exclusive access to ticketed events, members-only experiences, NFL membership club perks, and more. Availability is limited due to in-bowl renovations, so don't wait. Call 904-633-2000 or visit jaguars.com/season tickets to secure your spot at the center of the action. We'll see you at the bank this fall.
1010XL, presented by Farrah and Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. We're out here at Mr. Chubbies in Ponte Vedra getting ready for the Jaguar draft party coming tonight. Frank, let's start with the Jaguars. The Jaguars have 4 picks, did not make a move last night. How do you assess the Jaguars' position as we go into the second and third round this evening?
I like where they are. I'm glad they didn't move up because I like the volume of picks they have as they fill out their roster. I got defensive tackle, edge, and linebacker as my first 3. I think they'll take a tight end at some point. I think they'll take a running back. I think they'll take a quarterback at some point. But more than anything else, I think those defensive spots are important. I'd love to see him get C.J. Allen. I'd love to see him get Cassius Howell. Love to see him get Kristen Miller. Those are all SEC guys I watch, and I admitted that a moment ago. But I'd like to see them get a dominant defensive player. I think that's significant. I really do.
James Gladstone met with reporters after the first round concluded last evening and really was enlightening to get his thoughts on sort of where the Jaguars stand going into today. This was Gladstone after being asked how big of a step the roster can take tonight, having 4 picks with a good and balanced roster already in place.
I think there's a good chance to really level up. I think one of the big things that I look back to last year is the depth of the roster as a whole being a really critical piece, so that when we did experience windows in which there were heavier injuries or attrition, that there wasn't some version of a critical fall off at any one position. And I think that helped our cause. And certainly I think that with what we have lying in front of us, not only tomorrow, but on day 3 of the draft and even following the 7th round in undrafted college free agency, those are sort of the fringe edges that you can win in a lot of ways and make differences in what is going to be a long season. So I think that that's something that we're certainly excited about focusing on.
I sense they like where they are. I do. Not only have they said that, but I sense that, look, Hayes, they got a good roster, and they got a bunch of picks. You know, it's a good combination, having a good roster already and having a bunch of, I got 11 picks to add to what we all agree is a pretty good roster. That's a good position to be in.
Let's get to around the NFL. The Rams take Alabama quarterback Ty Simpson with pick 13. Good move?
Weird move. Weird move. Listen, I'm not going to say that I know more about quarterbacking than Sean McVay and Les Snead. Weird move for me, Hayes. I
think McVay's in your camp.
Yeah, that's what everybody said. Is that weird move? And look, to your point, if you're on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl, go get a player that can put you over the top, not a player that's not going to play for 2 or 3 years. That was your point, and I think it was an odd move for me. It was a very strange. Now listen, if the guy wins 4 MVPs in the next 15 years, then they were right. But for today, it seemed like an odd move.
Florida defensive tackle Caleb Banks goes 18th to the Vikings. Surprised?
Not surprised. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't have predicted that, but I'm not surprised. But he's a really good player. Here's the dice you're rolling here, Hayes. If the injury thing was a 1-off or a 2-off and he's not going to be injury prone, he's going to be a great player, not a good player. He's going to be a guy that should have gone in the top 5. He's 18th. He was going to go out of the first round because of the injuries. Now people are more convinced or less convinced that he's going to be hurt, so he climbed back into the middle of the first round. Bro, if he hadn't been hurt at all, he'd be a top 6 or 7 pick. Caleb Banks has that kind of potential. He's 6'6", 350, and runs like a defensive end. He's got a chance to be really good.
As bad as Billy Napier was, he kept a couple of streaks alive, the shutout streak, despite a very cheap field goal in the Las Vegas Bowl against Oregon
knocked
State.
it right through there is what they did. Right between the uprights is where that thing went.
And with Banks getting selected last night, Florida maintains their streak. They have had a player selected in every NFL draft every year since 1967. Only USC and Michigan can say that as well.
That's a great streak. Now, my guess is, say what you want about the bad of Billy Napier, he's going to have a bunch of guys drafted. I think they may have 7 or 8 guys taken.
Yeah, the scoring streak was way more in jeopardy than the getting a player drafted.
And he knocked it right through there, Hayes. There was no doubt about that. Am I the only guy that loved that he kicked that? I heard people go, I can't believe he's doing this. I love that he's doing that. It's my school and my streak.
He's such a terrible
I don't want him to. Well, agreed. But I don't want him ruining my streak.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's that. Because here, if he hadn't ruined the streak, if they had not scored, then we'd have always remembered him. I'm ready to move on.
Good point. Let's get to the draft's wildest moment last night. USC receiver Mekhi Lemon was on the phone with the Steelers as he thought Pittsburgh was getting ready to select him, as did Pittsburgh GM Omar Khan. But hold on, the Eagles make a trade with the Cowboys. They jump ahead of Pittsburgh, who was a little I'd say trigger happy. They weren't on the clock when they contacted Lemon. So Mekhi Lemon ends up going to the Eagles and not the Steelers.
Yeah, and I can tell you, reading all those Pittsburgh websites, I know more about the Penguins than I should, and I follow Steelers more than I should because I read about the Pirates, so I see all these websites. Everything you read, Hayes, they really wanted a receiver. I mean, in the worst way, they wanted a receiver.
Who do they even have? It's like Metcalf and Pittman?
Yes.
Oh.
So you would have thought, so the word was, it was receiver or bust. So they blew it with Lemon, and I don't know. I mean, wasn't Omar Cooper still on the board?
Yeah.
I mean, they were.
The Washington kid.
Yeah.
Boston.
Concepcion was still on the board. I'm really surprised they didn't do that.
J. Michael Sturdivant was still on the board.
J. Mike. Billy called him J. Mike.
Yeah, that's
your guy
right.
Billy used to call him J. Mike. J. Mike's okay. J. Mike's had a good camp.
Let's get into around the AFC South and talk about what the division did. Now, the Colts were like the Jaguars. They did not have a first-round pick, so we do not have to worry about Indianapolis doing anything last night. But the Titans were pretty bold, taking receiver Carnell Tate at 4 and passing on some what appeared to be elite defensive elite defensive talent. The Titans then come back into the first round at 31 to take Auburn edge Keldrick Falk.
Yeah, I don't dislike the Carnell Tate draft pick as much as you do. If you draft a quarterback 1 overall, as they did a year ago, you got to find him some weapons. I get that. I connect this draft pick to last year's draft, and I think that's why that would make some sense for me. So that one didn't bother me at all. You're right. There were some edges, and they went back to get one. But I think if you're going to draft Cam Ward, you got to get him some weapons. So that one didn't surprise me or bother me as much.
See, to me, the why it's a mistake is if you flip it.
Yeah.
If you take Arvell Reese at 4, there's a receiver at 31.
Right, I got you.
You know, so
and
to me, that's
you had an elite pass rusher.
Correct.
And now you don't have an. I hear you.
Yeah, but
I don't disagree
and look,
with that.
obviously, they might end up with 3 years from now the best draft in the NFL.
But I hear you.
But we have to just react to what we know now.
But to your point is, they passed up an elite pass rusher in a league where pass rushing is more important than ever. I get it.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Houston Texans. They reached as well. I don't mean to bash the. I'm not trying.
Oh, go ahead and bash
This
them.
isn't
Go ahead and bash them. Why would you bash them?
Patronizing you guys. I just am calling it like I see it. I didn't really like what Houston did either. I mean, taking an offensive lineman is fine, but it seemed like they reached on guard Keelan Rutledge out of Georgia Tech. Really, when you look at the book on him, great. He's a right guard purely.
Yeah.
Very good in the run game, but very much a question mark in terms of how well he handles quickness. So, again, I think that's a pick that if you're a Jaguars fan, I think you'd have taken that Thursday morning that Keelan Rutledge was going to be a Houston Texan.
But you knew or had a pretty good chance they were going to go O-line. Their offensive, they've done a true, complete remake of their offensive line, so that's not a surprise. Which you could debate which one they took or were going to take, but there was. And when I started seeing that run on offensive linemen, I started wondering maybe the Texans don't do that, even though at least I was convinced they were going to, and then they did anyway. So I'm not shocked by it. They have. The Texans, they've totally redone their offensive line. I can't even keep up with who's there anymore, so I thought they would go there.
Let's talk about the Miami Hurricanes. They had a great night last night. Mauiago goes to the Giants at 10. Bain to the Tampa Bay Bucks at 15 after a little bit of a slide. And Mesidor to the Chargers. I think 3 outstanding picks for all those franchises.
No question. And boy, Miami was good. And Carson Beck's going to go maybe tonight. You certainly realize when you see all the players being drafted, what a really good job they did, and what Mario Cristobal did building that roster. It wasn't an accident that they almost won the national championship. It really was.
No doubt about it. Sad news today locally. Tim Tebow's dad, Bob Tebow, passed away. Tim sent out a beautiful message about his dad and their unbreakable faith. Certainly our condolences, our thoughts and prayers to the Tebow family.
Bob and I were friends. We went to lunch a number of times. Not as much lately when he had been a little more ill. But I'm going to tell a story about Bob Tebow at the top of the hour. But a wonderful man. His faith was very real. A really good person, and certainly Tim Tebow's idol and role model. I can tell you that. Tim's told me that. And again, Bob's a good man that I knew well, and I'll tell a story about him at the top that I've enjoyed. But yes, sad to see us lose Bob Tebow. A genuinely good man, Hayes.
Well said. In the world of golf, Jim Furyk will be the Ryder Cup captain in 2027 when the U.S. takes on Europe and Ireland. Furyk served as captain when the U.S. lost in Paris. So good to see Furyk get a second opportunity. And boy, I mean, Nothing to lose
Yeah.
because, boy, Europe has really dominated the Ryder Cup, and particularly over there. So big challenge for Jim Furyk to get the Americans on the victory side of things in Ireland next year.
He's only the fourth American to ever do it twice. Davis Love, Tom Watson, and Jack Nicklaus captained twice, so that's pretty good company. Look, I don't know if it matters who the captain is. We've been getting our butts kicked. But Jim's a good dude. And this, by the way, the fact that he's been selected twice speaks, and I know the PG of America picks it, but it speaks to how respected he is by the players. He is as respected by other players in the tour, honestly, Hayes, as anyone that's come around in a long, long time.
No doubt about it. Let's get to the NBA. The Hawks edged the Knicks 109-108 last night. The Raptors whipped the Cavs 126-104. And the T-Wolves cruised past the Nuggets 113-96. JJ, what surprised you, if anything, in those three games?
Well, the Knicks losing again. I mean, it's really going to be a hell of a series for them. They did not expect this to be that close. And the Nuggets laid a complete egg last night, so they're down 2-1 in the series. That's a huge surprise as well.
Yeah, it really is, because the Nuggets, because they got the best player. When you have the best player, you shouldn't be struggling the way they are. No question about that. Lakers tonight, by the way.
That's right. We'll be locked in on the draft, but there are 3 games tonight if you're looking for something else to peek at. Celtics at 76ers at 7, Lakers at Rockets at 8, and Spurs at Trailblazers at 10:30.
Will you be up?
Well, I will be up.
You'll
I'll
be working.
I'll be on adrenaline until probably 2 a.m. So maybe I will watch the end of that game.
We will be wrapping the Jaguars show right about then, which means I'll probably be asleep half hour later. Just so you know.
We'll get you out with today's musical nugget. This week, in 1989, Tom Petty releases Full Moon Fever. A solo album went platinum 5 times over with hits like Free Fallin' and I Won't Back Down. This is Running Down a Dream.
What a great album.
Oh, yeah.
What you look at the cuts on this thing, what a great album. Well done as always. Hour 2's next. I'm going to talk about Bob Tebow for a second. Mention a thought or two about Jim Furyk as well, and a bunch of draft talk coming up. All that's next. Stay with us.
I was blind. Yeah, running down a dream.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real?
1010XL.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulate the 1010XL Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Finley Scholes, senior girls flag football player at Fletcher High. Finley is the president of the National and Science Honor Societies and has been accepted at Florida and Florida State University.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubbies wings?
Have you had the Chubbies style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubbies secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubbiesWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubbies Wings, before the game, after the game, and during the game.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey there, ET here with 1010XL. And here's a little how to be cool secret. No need to wait for an anniversary or a birthday. I just simply dial up Kuhn Flowers and send someone something special for absolutely no reason. It's really fun, and I can do it online at kuhnflowers.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Gators baseball team is set to host the Texas A&M Aggies this weekend for a 3-game series. First pitch for Game 1 will be crossing home plate at 6:30, then 5 for Game 2 tomorrow, and wrapping up with Game 3 Sunday at 1 o'clock. Tune into the games on 1010 AM or the 1010XL app. It's 80 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We sure thank our friends from Big Chief Tire. Big Chief Tire has 6 locations on the First Coast, the north side, 2 on the west side, the south side, Orange Park, and Mandarin. For all your automotive needs, they really do keep Jacks rolling because they're going to make sure they get it right with you. Oil changes, brakes, alignments, and, of course, those terrific tires. And any kind of tire you want, any kind of vehicle you drive, they'll make sure you've got the perfect one. They'll go out of their way to make sure it's perfect. They're that good at it. That's Big Chief Tire. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline with you, JJ LaSelva, back in World Headquarters. Do want to remind you, we're live at Mr. Chubbies today. Our show till 6 o'clock. Rick is in studio for about an hour, and then we'll come back out here. Jeff Lagerman and I will have the Jaguars draft special on the Jaguars Network. Kai Stevens, JP Shadrick, Brian Sexton, John Ogier all join us by phone. But Jeff and I will be out here as the party goes on right here in the parking lot. So we're glad you're with us and stay with us all day long as the Jags draft continues. And finally, the Jags get involved in the draft in all likelihood tonight. Bob Tebow died. They announced his death today at the age of 78. He battled Parkinson's. Tim Tebow, to your point, Hayes, sent out just a terrific post about Bob's faith. Bob's in a better place. He'll get to see him sometime. They were very, very close, Bob. First time I met Tim was at lunch with Bob and Tim right after he had committed to Florida. I've told this story many times. We ate lunch at the Chubbies in Mandarin, and he was still in high school. The amount of people that came up to that Chubbies and asked for his autograph for a high school kid, the likes of which I've never seen before. So Tim's, not Bob. But Bob and I used to eat lunch probably every couple of months. We'd talk sports. We'd talk about the Gators. Obviously, Bob went to Florida. But we were eating lunch one day at Ted's Montana Grill. I'll always remember this story. Ted's Montana Grill there in the town center. And we're talking. and my mom called. Now, my mom, for people that don't know, if haven't heard the story, I'm an only child. My dad died when I was 14, so my mom raised me, and then my mom was by herself and later in assisted living. So I talked to my mom about every day back in the day. So then she would call, and if she called while I'm on air or something, then I would call her back. And so anyway, she called while I'm at lunch with Bob Tebow. And I saw it on my phone, and Bob and I were talking. We both saw my phone buzz, and I saw that, and I saw lifted, kind of looked at the phone. I saw, it's my mom. I'll call her back. Bob Tebow looked at me and he goes, "You take that call." And I didn't know what to say. He says, "When your mother calls, you take the call. A good man takes the call from his mom, and you're a good man. You take that call." I grabbed my phone. I said, "Hey, Mom. Hey, honey, how are you?" "I'm good." "Anything right?" "No, I'm just calling to see if you're okay." "I'm good, Mom." I said, "What? I'm at lunch with a friend, but I'll call you back right after." She says, "Okay, hang up." And Bob goes, "You did the right thing." I will tell you, I picked until my mom died in 2018. I never again didn't pick up the phone when my mom called. I remembered that story. Some stories just resonate with you.
Sure.
Bob Tebow said, your mother calls, you pick up the phone. And I have never forgotten that story.
It's a great story.
And
it's a great lesson.
And it's a great representation of him.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I interviewed Tim when he was a sophomore at Nice. I was working at the St. Augustine Record and was doing this podcast before, like, it was I don't even think we called it a podcast. I don't even know what it was. This would have been like in 2000 and, long time ago, 20-something years ago. And Bob sat in on the interview, and it was so cool just seeing their relationship, how tight they were. And to your point, Bob was a great guy. I mean, what a great sports fan. Talking Gators. That was we had talked about some of the recent Florida success that they had, and again, Tim was far off from a college decision, but obviously you knew his family and his personal tie to being a huge Gators fan, but yeah, Bob Tebow, tremendous guy, and really, again, if you haven't seen Tim's message today, it's a really, I'd say, like, fresh perspective on what he's going through, what his family is going through, and it'll really, I think, uplift you more than anything else. So, not that that's a surprise from Tim Tebow, but certainly, our thoughts are with the family because we all enjoyed Bob so much.
Yeah, and it was the message, and Hayes is right. Go find the message because it's wonderful. But the message, it is uplifting. It's celebrating the beautiful life rather than mourning the end of it. That was the gist of the message, which was a wonderful one. So sad to see we lost Bob Tebow at age of 78. Wonderful man. I cherish the friendship we had and the many times we got together and ate lunch and talked about life, and I mean that very sincerely. To Jim Furyk very quickly. I love that Jim Furyk got selected. I think if you don't know Jim Furyk, he is a guy that everybody will connect with. I don't know. The Europeans have been wearing us out. I don't know if it means more to them. I don't know if it means more.
It definitely means more.
Yeah, it certainly seems to. But if there's one guy, Tiger was going to be the captain. Okay, and Tiger was, or certainly was, the offer was for Tiger.
No, that was it.
Yeah, and then when he had his DUI, he pulled off. He pulled out. And I don't know that. Look, everybody respects Tiger. But I got to believe the relationship with Tiger was entirely different than the relationship with Jim Furyk. Tiger's a rah, go, fist pumping, let's go beat their butt, and that matters. But Jim is a more reserved guy. Jim, I know Jim. You know Jim. Jim's a Jacksonville guy. Now he lives here now. He's a bit understated, but such a connector with people. And that doesn't mean he's not a competitor. He's a fiery competitor. But I really do think. Again, I don't know how much the captain matters, and captain's choices sometimes. Yeah, the captain's choices in 17 didn't do very well when Jim was the captain. I know that. But I think it's the right guy, right time for a team that, quite frankly, has struggled for, 20 years.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, one thing that's good about it, let's just start with not having a problem you had last time. Jim's not going to be, there's asked a million times, you're going to be a playing captain like Keegan Bradley was. So you don't have that at all.
Right.
Which helps. Because obviously on the European side, Luke Donald, who's basically become the Bill Belichick of the Ryder
He's
Cup
about
for
to
them.
do it for the third time.
Yeah, and has obviously had fantastic results. You know he's not playing. So I think it helps to eliminate that distraction right out of the gate. And again, I think there is something to the fact of learning from mistakes that were made the first time that you did something. I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes, but when you get a second chance to do something, particularly of this level of consequence and what this means to Jim, you know that things will be done differently, and he'll approach it with a perspective, a seasoned perspective, a humbled perspective. And I think that can lead to some really good things. Ultimately, it's going to come down to how well does Scheffler and Schauffele and Bryson and the guy, the Cam Youngs. I mean, it's going to come down to those guys and how well they perform.
How does everybody
But
play?
I do think that Jim is a fantastic choice, and I wouldn't get too wrapped up in what happened in Paris affecting what might happen in Ireland.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. So, all right, we're having a big time. It's a party day. It's a draft day. Give something away.
We ready?
Give them something.
Oh, we got something.
You never look. Hey, JJ gives stuff away. You never give anything away.
All right.
Trying to keep up. What do you got?
Okay, I've got something. So our friends at the farm at Okefenokee are so wonderful. They're having another dinner a week from tomorrow, May 2nd. It's going to be a fish fry. It should be a lot of fun. They're also going to let you come out. They don't often do this. They're going to let you come out and pick mayhaws. And I'm telling you, this mayhaw jelly is one of the best things that I have ever had in my life. So you can come out, pick mayhaws, take them home, make the jelly, make ice cream, whatever you want to do. But it should be a fantastic experience. Again, okefarm.com, okefarm.com is where you can get more information. But we're giving away a pair of tickets right now to that dinner. So be caller number 2 at 641-1010. And next Saturday night, or really next Saturday, because you're going to be out there in the afternoon picking berries, you're going. So we appreciate our friends at the farm at Okefenokee.
You're going to be loving it if you get to head to the farm. I can promise you that. We'll take a break. We're live at Mr. Chubbies on this Big Chief Tire Friday. More draft talk coming up, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Jaguars football.
Can you dig it?
More Jaguars.
Can you dig it?
It's just the Jags and the NFL.
Can you dig it?
Jaguars Today, weekdays 10 to noon on 1010XL.
Welcome to Key Buick GMC, proudly family-owned and operated since 1943. Come see why they're North Florida's new and pre-owned truck center, conveniently located on Southside and JTB, just minutes from the St. John's Town Center. At Key Buick GMC, every new vehicle comes with our lifetime powertrain warranty. Key Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Online at keybuickgmc.com. Lifetime powertrain warranty covers engine, transmission, drivetrain only. Exclusions apply. See dealer for details.
Growing up in Jacksonville, I always associated Beards with an elevated experience, something that isn't your big box store.
Dr. Aryan Afshari talking about his experience at Beards Diamonds.
Every single time I've walked into Beards, I have felt confident. I have felt like I've been guided down the right path. I feel like no one is there to take my money and that they all have my best interest in mind.
When Dr. Afshari went into Beards Diamonds for his engagement ring, he was blown away by the selection.
We walked into Beards, they showed us a massive array of diamonds, of bands.
But they helped him narrow it down and even offered to customize a designer setting for a one-of-a-kind ring.
I showed them some inspirations and they really kind of knocked it out of the park. I think Megan still has the best ring out of all her friends.
Beards Diamonds. Unbeatable selection, direct importer prices, designer rings, no commission salespeople, and local owners.
I wanted something meaningful, and that's what I found at Beards.
Get the value and luxury experience you deserve. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Strength, speed, swagger, and most importantly, he moves the chains. 1010XL's draft coverage is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, Custom Windows and Doors, and Fleming Island Center for Clinical Research. Roll through the offseason with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
What if your next fun day out costs you $70 to play all day? That's exactly what you get at the Battalion Airsoft Arena, the only indoor airsoft battlefield in Jax. Skip the same old boring entertainment choices and step into real action with your crew. Perfect for birthdays, company team building, graduation parties, or just epic weekend fun. No experience, no problem. The Battalion package includes everything: gun, mask, and ammo with unlimited play. So lock in your mission now at BattalionAirsoftArena.com.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We sure appreciate our friends from Big Chief Tire. 6 locations on the first coast. Hit the Big Chief Tire today. Frangie and Carline with you. JJ LaSelva back at World Headquarters. It is draft day. We're live at Mr. Chubbies here in Ponte Vedra. We'll be here, Hayes and I, doing this show till about 6 o'clock. Well, exactly 6 o'clock. Rick Ballou then takes over from the studio for about an hour. And then Jeff Loggeman and I will have the Jaguars Network radio show as we track the Jaguars draft tonight. It's your expectation that the Jags will draft 3 times. Yes or no? Trade up or stay at 56?
I think they're going to trade up. I just think that as you look at it, there's so much talent in the top half of the second round. I just think at this point, now you do want to be aggressive. Gladstone talked about it last night. Last night was a volume play. You know, you wanted to maintain your position of strength, having the 4 picks today. If you traded up into the first round, all that was going to disintegrate. And he mentioned being strategically bold. This is where I think you now see the strategically bold get put in place. You give away pick 100, which is your 4th selection tonight. It's the final pick of the night. So last pick of the 3rd round. But if you give that pick up, if you look at the traditional draft charts, that's enough to get them up 10 spots. Why is that important? Because the Colts are at 47, and they may be looking at the same player,
right?
Particularly if it's C.J. Allen, the linebacker out of Georgia. So I think you trade, pick 100, move up 10 spots to 46, and make the selection there, and that would be 46, 81, and 88 tonight for the Jaguars, which would be a heck of a trio.
Yeah, and I would love to see them. Again, I think it's so. If you look at position, if you go by the various positions, there's not much debate that they're going to address the defensive front, probably both positions. And if I went through a list of what I think they will do, I would probably go defensive line, edge, linebacker. I think tight end and running back. I think they're going to draft a quarterback, maybe late. So I don't think there's any positions they're going to miss. In fact, I think if you keep all 11 picks, you draft everything. Wouldn't you think that? for the most part.
If they got, I'd say I'd almost phrase it as if they get stuck drafting 11 guys. I'd be surprised if that's the plan. I think they want to get it to probably more like 8 or 9. But yeah, I mean, obviously, if they keep 11, then you're probably addressing, every room that you have. But I think tonight it's really critical. What's going to be the key is the defensive tackle, because the position in the board that's left, because it just wasn't strong to begin with. And Caleb Banks did go in the first round last night, which was a surprise to a lot of the draft experts. So you don't have the potential of Banks there. Again, we've talked about like Lee Hunter. We've talked about Dominique Orange. Those guys are more noses. They're more Devon Hamilton than they are,
that's correct,
twitchy, collapse the pocket, create some interior pass rush. So I think if at 56 or even 45, I think that board is gone. So I just don't see this regime taking, I'd say, like a C+ prospect over A- prospect in that slot. So I think edge, off-ball linebacker, I would be surprised if either one of those isn't the first player selected tonight, whether they stay at 56 or whether they move up. Because I think to go get one of the defensive tackles, the premium guys that are left, now you're talking about having to get up in probably to the top 35, which is, going to require an awful lot. You're going to have to give up picks 88 and 100 to make that happen. And now you're just walking away from tonight with 2 guys. I don't think that they'll be that aggressive. So strategically bold, a smaller trade up, I think, is in the cards.
All right. If I told you, I wrote down 10 position picks, and I know they got 11 picks. But I really think, and I don't mean tonight, I mean by the time it's over Saturday afternoon, 2 defensive tackles, 2 edge, 2 linebackers, 1 tight end, running back, quarterback, and offensive lineman. Now, by the time you get to Saturday, it doesn't play. Then it does become value. Then you're not necessarily slotting every position. But if I told you 2 defensive tackles, 2 edge, 2 linebackers, 1 tight end, 1 quarterback, 1 running back, 1 offensive lineman, would you be surprised? And I left 1 out, by the way. That's 10. But let's say they trade around and they wind up with
take
10
a
picks.
receiver.
Yeah. Would that surprise you?
No.
Because I didn't put receiver on here.
Yeah. I think that would make a lot of sense if they do end up picking 11 players. And again, Gladstone pointed it out that it's not just tonight. Tomorrow is big as well, and then they do have undrafted free agency where they did pretty well last year with Strigow and Green.
And did you notice he leaned into that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Every time he's been interviewed, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but every time he's been interviewed, he talked about the importance of these undrafted free agents. That's a great point.
And there's going to be so much depth on this roster, particularly after they make, let's just say it's 8 or 9 draft picks and they make a couple moves to trade up or just simply trade out and pick up a 27 pick, that this is not going to be overly attractive to undrafted free agents, because you're looking, if you're an agent of an undrafted free agent, you're looking for a roster where there's a pretty good path to making the 53. That is not going to exist with the Jaguars. But what's interesting about that, when you're in the Jaguars position, you can use a little bit more of your money on just a couple of guys and give them levels of money that other clubs are not going to be able to get to necessarily if they're looking to, really fill a lot more needs through undrafted free agency. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's certainly an element. And they'll sign, 15 guys, I would think, in undrafted free agency. But I would imagine 1 or 2 of them will get money that will be in the top, I'd say, 6 money of all the undrafted free agents that are out there, because they're operating from a position of strength where the roster it's tough to cut now. Imagine after Saturday when they've added this draft class to it. So because of that, you're probably going to have to pay to get the premium undrafted free agent here, because it's going to be a tough road at any of these spots to get on the 53.
All right, let's talk about quarterback for a second. You and I both agree there's a chance they take a quarterback at some point.
Yeah,
how does that play out in your mind?
I think it would be later on Saturday. It is something to monitor tonight with Nussmeier, Carson Beck, and Drew Aller. out of Penn State.
And it won't be one of them.
It won't be one of them, and you want to see those 3 guys get picked. So if you're looking for something to root for, you want to see those 3 quarterbacks off the board by 56. Ideally, you want to see them off as early as possible in case they do want to move up. But certainly you'd like to see those 3 guys get selected before the Jaguars are on the clock at 56. But beyond that, yeah, I mean, I think there's enough candidates in this draft that, 6th round, 7th round, sure, take a shot at a developmental guy who, maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and he can develop into Trevor's backup. But yeah, I would think that drafting a quarterback with the litany of picks that they have would be somewhat of a focal point because, you always want to invest in that position. If you're able to hit on somebody, it can really pay off in terms of, a trade down the road.
The Duval Chancellor coming.
That's right. Well, Alessandra's in the building. And when Alessandra's in the building,
yes, she is.
We get a lot of, happy people.
Yeah, she got embarrassed because you called her out. You see that right there? She got all, she got all embarrassed because you said her name. She's out there she's interviewing all the folks here. Alessandra Pontreon from Channel 4, who we like very much. She's our buddy. Look, I read somewhere that the Jags kicked the tires on the Rutgers guy that I can't pronounce his last name.
Okay.
As the play-by-play voice, let me recommend don't bring in a guy I can't pronounce his last name. I really like Luke Altmaier, the Ole Miss transfer that's been in Illinois for a few years. He's a good player, and he's a 6th or 7th round guy,
sure.
if that. Guy, I don't think Haynes King's the guy. I don't know if he throws it well enough.
Yeah.
Joey Aguilar from Tennessee. I'm looking at guys that are Saturday guys,
right?
At best Saturday guys, and these are guys that we know a little bit about. Diego Pavia is 5'10". I don't think he's playing in the league. Tyler Van Dyke, remember him? JJ?
Wow.
I
haven't heard
Unfortunately.
his name in 2 years.
Unfortunately, you do. He's in the draft. But it's a guy like that. It's a guy, regardless of who it winds up.
There's like
Cade
Klubnik.
Klubnik.
Yeah, there's the
Where's
Baylor
Cade
kid,
Klubnik
Robertson.
go?
I'd say 6th, 7th round.
Yeah, I think so too. And boy, what a fall from grace.
Yeah.
He was in some first-round mocks before the season.
Absolutely.
I mean, Cade Klubnik.
A lot of people thought he was going to win the Heisman.
Quarterback to be taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I've told you this before. I had him in a college game a few years ago, and I did during one of the breaks. I never thought he was that good. I've had him a couple times. I had him when he was just a freshman, and then I had him in the Gator Bowl, and I think he's just a guy. So I'm not surprised that he fell like that. So yeah, but I do think quarterbacks are still sexy because they're quarterbacks. So it'll be fun to see if they take one of these guys that we've seen play somewhere in the college realm. We're live at Mr. Chubbies. We're glad you're along for the ride with us. Again, let me set the scene for you. Hayes and I got another half an hour of this show live from Mr. Chubbies, but our setup stays. We'll take a little break in between. Jeff Lagerman will be here. Jeff and I might grab a little dinner real quick first, and then Jeff Lagerman and I will have the Jaguars Network show tonight from 7 to 10. J.P. Shadrick, John Ozier, Brian Sexton, Kai Stevens will all join us for parts of that show, and they'll kind of tell you what's coming up on Jaguars.com as well. So it's all going on live at Mr. Chubby's. The big party is going to be going on out there in the parking lot, although Alessandra's talking to everybody in here. There's a lot of Jags fans that made their way in here as well. A lot of fun. This is draft night, not last night. Tonight is draft night, Jaguar style, and we'll have it for you right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. More in a moment, so stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Where electrifying moments come to life.
Inside of a minute to play.
And legendary performances lead.
A monumental milestone in a legendary career.
1010XL. The power of Jacksonville Sports Radio.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infinity is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlyon. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infinity is inspected, factory backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship level service as a brand new Infinity? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfinity.com or visit Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Daly's is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Daly's. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Daly's is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Daly's. Daly's is made fresh, it's made local, and Daly's is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast orthopedic specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast orthopedic specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast orthopedic specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast orthopedic specialists.
Money pages in your mailbox right now.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go.
Pages in your mailbox right now.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
Lifetime flooring.
Jeff Breyer and Zach Breyer here with the Lifetime family of companies. Looking to revitalize and fall in love with your home again?
At Lifetime Flooring, our family-owned team brings you top-quality flooring and bath remodels with the professionalism that big box stores can't touch.
And Lifetime Enclosures will help you design and build what will become your favorite room in your home.
This Easter, everybody will want to hop on over.
Absolutely. So visit our websites or one of our showrooms today to experience the Lifetime difference and ask about our Easter specials.
Lifetime flooring.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home. Like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Wayday. Shop Wayfair's Wayday from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Catch Gators baseball all season long on 1010XL. Pitched by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
All right, golden moment today's been pretty easy. Talking draft is what we've been doing today. We've had a blast talking about the draft. A real fun time, and we're excited about it. One more time, I want to remind you, we are live at Mr. Chubbies, and we're glad you're along for the ride with us. Come on by again. We'll be here till Hayes and I till 6 o'clock. Jeff Lagerman and I all the way till 11. Now let's do this.
10-10 take.
The 10-10 take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the duckduckrooter.com. I've never been more confident of a Jaguar front office, a Jaguar regime, than I am now that this group will get it right. And in fairness, some past groups have gotten it right. Tom Coughlin and company, when he was over everything in the 90s, he knew exactly what he was doing. I was awfully confident then. But then they've slipped some. They've had some good years here and there. They've brought in some good players here and there. But you've never been confident that they could sustain it. I am more confident than ever as we get into the real Jaguar draft, because tonight's the Jaguars draft. I've never been more confident that they've got a group that I think is going to get it right. I'm thrilled for them. I'm thrilled for the Jags. I'm thrilled for this incredible group of Jaguar fans that are going to be out here hanging out with us tonight here at Mr. Chubbies. I can't wait to see the way the night comes out. I can't wait to see who they take. I can't wait to see who they take tomorrow. I'm overwhelmingly confident that this group is going to continue to get it right, and I can't wait to see it play out on that. Hayes is the 10-10 take.
Yeah, it's well said. And again, I think when you look at last night, I don't think the other teams in the division really did much to close the gap. The Titans obviously were the most active, taking Carnell Tate at 4 and Keldrick Falk at 31. But we know they have a ways to go. And I think they missed on Tate, or certainly passed on Arvell Reese, which I think they'll regret for the next 10 years. You look at the Colts didn't have a first-round pick. The Texans took a guard that a lot of people believe was a reach of where they took him. Very shaky as a pass protector at right guard and not very versatile. Has only really played right guard at Georgia Tech. So I think you like what happened in the division last night, and now is James Gladstone's chance. He gets to hit the accelerator tonight. He gets to push the Jaguars even further, I think, from the Texans, the Colts, and the Titans. So it's a huge opportunity tonight. And I do believe that the Jaguars are well positioned to take full advantage of it.
Yeah, I do too. I like where they are. I like how they go about this stuff, and I can't wait. I'm excited. It was a weird freaking draft week because you love draft, really, or weeks plural leading up to it, because we love the draft. You love draft week. You love talking draft. But the reality is, Hayes, you knew yesterday was going to be quiet for us, and that's okay. You knew that last year when they traded up to get Travis Hunter, which I'm still glad they did. But you knew it was going to make for a quiet Thursday. Guess what? We got through the quiet Thursday. We survived the quiet Thursday. And look at this crowd forming now. I mean, this is a draft party that typically is on a Thursday night. And like I said earlier, it's even better because now we get to do it on Friday night. I'll remind you again, we're at Mr. Chubbies, the official draft party here in Ponte Vedra. The place is going to be packed. It's already starting to be packed. The whole parking lot's set up. There's a big screen out there so you could follow the picks and go crazy when the Jaguar pick comes up. Jeff Lageman and I will be inside doing the Jaguars radio broadcast, and we're certainly excited about that. So all kind of fun stuff. Glad you're along with us as we kind of continue along here, and I'm very, very excited about this. So what's your plan? Well, you're headed downtown.
That's right.
You're
I'll be
going
at
downtown.
the stadium and looking forward to covering the draft night too. And then Liam Cohen and James Gladstone will conduct a press conference after the festivities are over tonight.
And you'll be writing on 1010XL.com?
We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
But
you'll post something.
But yeah, there'll be something.
Yeah. You'll certainly post on it. Yeah. So something on 1010 because again, I think people care about your thoughts and what you thought on how it played out. So a lot of stuff coming up. So we're certainly excited about that. All right, let's take one more break. We'll come back. We'll say hello to Rick Ballou. We'll wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The ever-shifting odds for the winner of the NBA Finals, the Oklahoma City Thunder remaining on top. They are minus 130, while the Celtics are plus 600. They're the best bet out of the Eastern Conference. San Antonio plus 650 to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Cleveland is at plus 1,200. The Denver Nuggets plus 2,000. The Detroit Pistons plus 2,200. In the NHL Stanley Cup playoff, in the NHL, the Stanley Cup favorites are the Colorado Avalanche, plus 300 to hoist the cup. Carolina is at plus 475. Tampa Bay at plus 500.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010 XL.
Owning a house is kind of like being in an argument with your house. One day, it's the AC saying, I'm tired. The next day, it's the plumbing going, good luck finding that leak. Then the septic system joins the conversation. And nobody likes what it has to say. That's when you call Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. One team that handles all three, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. So the next time your house tries to win the argument, call Duck Duck Rooter. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hi, folks. Frank Frangie with big news. Nimnick Chevrolet's done it again. They're named the Chevrolet Dealer of the Year for 2025. You ready for this? That's 9 times, and still the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win the award. Why? Well, because at Nimnick, It's all about treating you right every time. Experience the difference at NimnickChevy.com. I can tell you this. I've been buying cars from Nimnick since 1982. Started at that Chevrolet store, and I learned how to buy cars, and I've been doing it ever since. So if you want a terrific place to buy cars or trucks, at the Nimnick. In fact, it's Truck Month at Nimnick, and it's bigger and better than ever. Nimnick Chevrolet is offering supplier pricing for everyone on new Chevy Silverados. So it doesn't matter the product. It can be a car, it can be a truck, an SUV, it can be new or used. Nobody does a better job than Nimnick for 3 generations. Nimnick has been the place customers keep coming back to. They keep treating you right. They give back to the community. I'm telling you, if you need a car, truck, SUV, new or used, you want to head to Nimnick. Who does a better job? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
An accident with a big truck can change everything in a matter of seconds. Medical bills start piling up, you're missing work, and the trucking company's lawyers, they get to work immediately. That's why you need a law firm that moves just as fast. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we fight for truck accident victims, digging into the details and holding negligent drivers and their trucking companies accountable. We don't get paid unless you do. Big trucks have big lawyers. You need a stronger fighter. Campione Law. Visit CampioneLaw.com. Offices, Jacksonville and St. Augustine.
And that concludes the Josie Jack of All Trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting. Repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting.
Hey, I've got that craving again. How about some Mr. Chubby's wings?
Have you had the Chubby style wings? Grilled to perfection with Chubby's secret seasoning.
You know I have. They are so delicious. I swear you can't find anywhere in town with better wings and better prices on drinks.
So many different specials each night, too. Well, I'm ready to chub it up again.
Me too.
See all their specials at MrChubbiesWings.com. Locations on Fleming Island, the West Side, and Ponte Vedra Beach. Mr. Chubby's Wings. Before the game, after the game, and during the game.
The Purple Heart isn't just a name. It represents service, discipline, and earning trust. At Purple Heart Pools, that standard shows up most in pool renovations. If your pool is outdated or worn down, now's the time to upgrade. So when summer arrives, your pool is ready. From new finishes and tile to decking, lighting, and full transformations, every upgrade is handled with precision and attention to detail. Purple Heart Pools. Pool renovations done right.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
It's a Big Chief Tire Friday on The Frangie Show. For all of your tires and automotive service needs, it's Big Chief Tire.
We sure appreciate our friends from Big Chief Tire with locations all over town. 6 locations here on the First Coast, the north side, the west side, 2 on the west side. South side, Orange Park, and Mandarin. I promise you, head to Big Chief Tire. You'll be awfully glad you did. Big Chief Tire Company, always a sponsor of the Friday show around here. Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, JJ LaSelva with you as we kind of continue along here. Piece of good news. You found it for me on Twitter. I didn't even know that. I just texted my buddy. My good friend Jeff Dancer. We've been friends since 1988 when he was really a student at Georgia, about to get out. Was named the football play-by-play voice of the Georgia Bulldogs. You can't imagine what that means to Jeff. You honestly cannot imagine. I'm going to have him on next week to talk about it. How nobody loves the Dogs more than he does. The way we love the Gators, the way Rick loves the Noles, the way we all love the Jags. That's how Jeff Dancer loves the Dogs. He grew up with it. He befriended Larry Munson in Larry's later years. They became friends. Scott Howard has been the play-by-play voice. From what I read, Scott will continue to do basketball. Jeff will continue to do baseball and women's basketball. But Jeff and John Stinscombe now get the football job, and they're just shaking it up a little bit. Eric Zier, who's also a buddy of mine. I don't know Scott very well, but I know Eric. I think it'd been Scott and Eric for the longest time, so they're just changing it up a bit. So Jeff Dantzler and John Stinchcomb will be the play-by-play voices. I'm telling you, you know Jeff. You've heard him on our air enough times, Hayes. One of the all-time good guys, fantastic play-by-play voice, and he will crush it for the Georgia Bulldogs, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, and you can hear the passion that he has for Georgia football when he joins you, and he's obviously got great insights. And yeah, I'm sure he'll be phenomenal. And he's getting the job just in time to watch John Sumrall go 5-0 against Kirby in the cocktail party.
I'll share that with him. He'll appreciate that. He'll appreciate that, no question about it. So, congratulations to my good friend Jeff Dantzler, who's so. We just texted. I didn't know it till a minute ago. So you told me. So, we texted back and forth since then. One quick question. So Tyler Tanner, the Vanderbilt basketball player, he's declaring for the NBA with keeping his college eligibility like Ruben Chinyelu did. Don't we have to be close to getting to where football's got to be able to allow people to do that? Baseball can do it. Basketball can do it. I don't know how hockey does it. But don't we have to be kind of getting close to where football guys can test their wares and come back? And college coaches won't like it because they want to know what they're going to have. But wouldn't that be better for the sport and for the players?
It would certainly be better for the players. In terms of from an NFL perspective on it, I don't see a reason why they'd be against it necessarily. And I can think of one reason why they may want to start embracing it a little bit more. We're all talking about this 2027 draft next year being loaded. Well, you let some of these guys start getting paid $6-7 million to go back to college.
Right.
And it's not going to be as loaded as you think. Those guys will put it off another year. And so it might make some sense for the NFL. Is the star college football player is now going to command such an incredible amount of money before they even get to the NFL. It might make some sense for the NFL to be a little bit more lenient with that because of the financial implications of that decision for the player. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think if it happens, it will be because of the dramatic increase in the money that these players are making. I mean, again, can you imagine what Ohio State receiver Jeremiah Smith would command if he just said, I'm a free agent. Whoever pays me the most is where I'm going to play next year. I mean, if Thomas Houck is making what I think he's making probably close, I think it's around 5, but we've seen.
I think it is too.
It be higher. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, you're probably talking about somebody willing to pay him $7 or $8 million. Now he's going to go top 3 at worst next year in the draft. So it still makes sense for a player like him to enter. But if you're a guy more like Houck was, if you're in that top 50 range in the NFL, you may go 21st, but you may go 48.
Right.
If somebody's going to pay you $7 or $8 million to play college football, you're probably doing that. You're at least going to consider it, maybe more so than entering the NFL. So yeah, I think it would make some sense because the financial stakes are so big now to give players that option of entering, getting feedback, but ultimately maybe you make it after their pro day. You look at it maybe mid-March. Saying, okay, if you're not going to stay in it, then you need to go back to school and withdraw your name.
No question about it.
Look at this guy.
Boy, and I tell you what,
look at this guy.
Now we can start, okay? That boy. Yes, it is. Our friend Mark Lamping is here. It is a home game here. Let's say hello to Rick Ballou, another good friend of mine.
The 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Mr. Chubbies is here. We're in Mr. Chubby. Lamping walked in here, Ballou, right? I mean, he's like, this is a home game for him, right?
Yeah, he's a driver in Threewood away from there. He lives right over there at the plantation, so and that beautiful golf course. So I've met Mark there before after a show at Mr. Chubby. So great spot. I know you guys are going to have a break here for an hour. I'll fill the void, then we'll send it right back over to you.
Rick, very quickly, what surprised you about last night? Ty Simpson, I guess, surprised all of us, but what jumped off the page for you?
Yeah, that'd be the obvious one, but I thought we'd have a bigger run on edge guys. I mean, I saw mostly 7 or 8 in the first round, and it was half that a night ago, so that surprised me a little bit. I also thought that Katie McDonald would be the first defensive tackle to go. He was not. he's still available for the Jaguars tonight. So really quite a bit, a lot of moving around, a lot of reshuffling of the deck. I thought 8 minutes was better than 10 minutes, even though ESPN didn't get the memo. They were late with their delivery on about everything. I enjoyed it last night, and hey, tonight's going to be a whole heck of a lot of fun with 4 picks.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun as well. You're going to talk draft? What else coming up tonight?
That's it.
A lot of draft, right?
That's it. Nonstop draft for an hour.
All right, Rick Ballou goes into the night for an hour, and it comes up right now. That'll do it for our program here. Again, Rick Ballou for an hour, then right back here at Mr. Chubby. Jeff Lagerman will join me. We'll be talking all kind of Jag draft. We're excited to do it. Enjoy your time down there at the back down to the stadium. You're going right back down.
Yes, enjoy the show.
Safe.
I'll be listening.
All right, that'll do it for our program. Rick Ballou is next. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.